Okay.
I need 4 chickens
Right.
for a beachfront mansion. And the guy's like, no.
So he was willing to trade you that.
No, he wasn't. So that's why I just had
Oh,
to,
but because
like,
he didn't have the 4th chicken.
He didn't have the 4th chicken. I was like, how do you expect to get a beachfront mansion
without
3 chickens?
Because he didn't have the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't have the 4th. It was the worst.
I
still live there now, but I'd rather have the chicken.
That's
honestly.
a raw deal. That's a Jesus. What is Jesus?
Hey everyone, I'm John.
I'm Ethan.
And we're here to review the 2016 thriller/disaster movie, Deepwater Horizon, starring Mark Whalberg. So this movie follows the story of the 2010 BP oil spill, and mostly focuses on the struggle for the people on board.
Right, the crew and their will to survive.
And it's almost kind of like, takes from a movie like Titanic in a lot of ways.
Okay.
You know, not trying to compare it to that, but in the sense that it really focuses on the characters trying to survive and get off of this vessel that's going down.
Right. So, John, do you have any expectations for Deepwater Horizon going into it?
I didn't know much about it. I'd
Okay.
seen a couple trailers like in the theaters, but you know, it seemed like it could be good based on a true story, a pretty interesting story. So I had high hopes.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I keep telling you that I missed out on Transformers 4, so I didn't see Mark Whalberg in Explosions. I missed out on the director Peter Berg's last film, Lone Survivor, with Mark Whalberg.
You could watch pretty much any other Mark Whalberg movie. And
Right.
get Mark Whalberg with
And this is again directed by Peter Berg, who these two must have something going on, and these two must have something going on that I didn't see in Lone Survivor. So now I should get in and watch this movie, and I'm glad I did. Glad I watched Deepwater Horizon.
I really enjoyed Deepwater Horizon.
Solid action movie, solid thriller. I like it.
Yeah, I think this movie is really in most ways a disaster movie.
Absolutely.
For one thing, all the effects in this movie were really well put together, both practical-wise and CGI-wise.
Absolutely, John. I was telling you earlier that the biggest reason I wanted to see this movie is because I wanted to see something blow up really nicely. Because I expected the destruction, the initial destruction scene that disaster movies usually have. I expected this one to look great. So I expected it to be on Super 8 level with the train. And while it wasn't Super 8 level, it was still really awesome. And it was just really cool seeing this thing just explode. It was awesome.
Yeah. All of these really intense, like, chaos destruction scenes managed to be really crazy and thrilling and intense and over the top.
Absolutely.
But still while being kind of coordinated well and still have, you know, sense to them. Unlike a movie like, Ethan, you mentioned Transformers a minute ago.
Right.
You don't get just completely nauseated by everything that's going on. There's still actually...
It's a little bit more contained.
To it. Yeah, maybe... Yeah, contained I think is a good word.
Right.
And I think the writing in this movie was surprisingly solid.
I thought it was simple, very straightforward, get to the point. Here are the people, here are your characters. Disaster happens, we gotta get out. It was very simple, it was very effective, and I liked it.
It was pretty simple, I will say that. There's nothing really particularly interesting or unique going on here.
Right.
It's pretty predictable, you pretty much know. None of the characters are particularly deep. They're all pretty simply written, if not thinly written.
Right.
But this movie didn't fall victim to a lot of the pitfalls I feel like movies like this often do.
Right. Actually, go on.
A lot of movies like this will focus too much on one character instead of the disaster, what we're here for, or they'll have just focus on the wrong thing or have one thing be way too underdeveloped. I think this movie was, for the most part, really well-paced and well-focused.
Absolutely. And actually, that was, you were mentioning earlier, one of my biggest problems with the movie was just its characters. I thought I didn't really care for them. Like you said, they were very thinly written. I didn't. Yes, Mark Whalberg has a family, and he's a family man, and he cares for his wife and his kid. Yes, these other characters, this one has a husband at home, this one has this, but they're never really given any other defining traits other than the one you're supposed to see.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. The biggest pet peeve I have with me, it's not really a pet peeve, but with John Malkovich's character, he literally is just like a Bond villain with just a very thick Southern accent. It's comedic in his villainy.
He is totally a Bond
plays
villain.
one of the BP executives on the oil rig, and it's, again, comedic in just how evil this man can seem. And that was really just one of my biggest gripes with the movie. Not even a gripe, really. It was just, maybe it took me out, but it was funny to see.
Yeah. So, Ethan, all things considered, what are you giving Deepwater Horizon out of 5 stars?
I really enjoyed Deepwater Horizon. I'm very happy I saw it. I, again, went in just to see the explosion. That's the minimum I needed to see. I needed to see a cool explosion, and I would have been happy. But I was glad to see other cool action as well. Some pretty cool character moments, as well as some great acting with Mark Whalberg. Kurt Russell's in it. He's awesome in the movie. Dylan O'Brien has a smaller part, but it's still really nice. I'm glad I saw all the acting. It was pretty good. Action, like I said, on point. I liked it. Writing was a little weird sometimes. Characters, okay, fine. But overall, I really enjoy Deepwater Horizon. I think it's a very solid action movie, very solid disaster flick. I think you should go see it. That's why I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars.
I'm pretty much right with you there, Ethan. I really enjoyed Deepwater Horizon. All the effects and disaster elements and cinematography were really well good. It may seem intense and chaotic while still being, fairly contained.
Right.
And, even though the script isn't particularly anything interesting or new or innovative or stimulating, it's pretty well written, pretty solidly written. Pacing's good, doesn't fall victim to a lot of these focus problems a million other movies like this have. So all in all, I had a pretty great time with this. I can't say it's particularly memorable or anything, but I think if you're looking for just a kind of fun, crazy time in the theater,
It's crazy.
Deepwater Horizon is a pretty solid pick. So I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. All right, guys, let us know what you think of our review and of the movie and everything down in the comments. And make sure to subscribe for more content. And make sure to follow us on Twitter at StubMasters. And you can get merchandise and
like this,
look as great as us
or
at cafepress.com/StubMasters. All right, and for Stub Masters Reviews, I'm John.
I'm Ethan.
Have a great day.